Hey guys, welcome to our final video of our SHG Online. Very exciting, we're almost done. Today we're going to do some back handspring drills with you. So we're going to break this down into 3 segments. This is going to start with our takeoff, we're going to do some shaping drills, and we've also got the landing.
We'll also have strength throughout the video and some strength and conditioning at the end to work on keeping our feet together. These are really good for practicing and preparing for learning a back handspring in the gym. Let's get going. For our final warm-up, we're going to do a cardio twist up. Just follow along with me.
It's time to begin, I'm counting in. 5, 6, 7, 8. My student baby is driving me crazy. My obsession from a western, my dance floor day. And rodeo, Romeo, and cowboy got from head to toe. Wanna make you mine, better get in line. 5, 6, 7,
Everything ready. Alrighty, let's catch our breath and we're going to stretch out our shoulders. We're going to do big arm circles backwards, stretching out, and forwards. Alright, just warming up our wrists. Making sure we give them a good stretch. Pulling it down towards the floor. The other hand. And down the other way. And the other hand. Alrighty, and just to straddle, we're going to go forward, middle, through, and stretching our shoulders up. So ready? 1, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up, and one more. 1, 2, 3, up. Alrighty, we're just going to make sure that our shoulders and our wrists are feeling all stretched out and we're ready to get going.
Okay, so for the start of our back handspring, we want our back handspring to be really long. So if we're going to do a takeoff that goes up, our back handspring is going to go up and it's not going to be good. We're going to come down and we're going to hurt our body. So we want to make sure that we're doing it right from the start, which is going to mean that we have a really long back handspring. So you're going to start with your arms up nice and tall. If you prefer, you can have your arms in front of you, but Charlotte's going to demonstrate with the arms up. This is how she's learned it. So as she bends her legs, she's going to swing her arms down and push back into the wall, okay? She's going to slap the wall with her arms. She's going to show you one more time. So this is going to make sure that we're pushing backwards before we take off, okay? So after this position, which we can't show you because there's a wall next to us, she's going to then take off in a straight position, but we're just going to practice the first part, leaning, sitting back nice and long.
Alrighty, so for takeoff, we're going to work on some strength associated with our takeoff. In our takeoff, we want to really think about our power in our legs. So the first thing we're going to do is in squats, Tori's going to show us. So having shoulder width apart, making sure our knees are facing forwards instead of wide squats. We're making sure that we're keeping our chest as upright as we can, squatting all the way down in line with our knees. You're going to do 10 of those, making sure we're focusing on our power going up as well. After we've done these, we're going to use our chair. We're going to do some single leg stand up to a hop. So sitting on the chair, lifting up one leg, and then from there we're going to stand up nice and tall and hop. Cool. So see how Tori also lifted her arms up? So we're going to do the same thing. Arms start down, stand up and lift. Really think about the power driving through our legs. So you're going to do 10 on both legs to really work on the individual leg strength. Awesome. Once you've done 10 of those on each leg, we're going to do Bulgarian split squats. So back foot on the chair, forward foot a little bit in front, yep. And we're going to squat down, keeping our chest up. Again with our arms, we're going to bring them down by our side and pushing up, thinking about the direction of our power in our legs. So 10 on each leg in that one. Making sure again we're not dropping our chest too far down and we're squeezing our arms up to our ears. Once you've done that one, our final strength activity is our calf raises. So holding onto a chair, don't hold too hard, otherwise you're going to be doing the strength in your arms instead. So going up and controlling down. If you go too fast, you're gonna kill the idea of the calf raise. So make sure we're doing it nice and slowly, building up our strength in our calves. So 10 of those, and then you'll be good to go.
Okay, so moving on to our second part. This is our open shape after we've done our takeoff. So Charlotte's going to show you once we've taken off, we're going to be in an open shape. See how she's not arching? Her hips are open and her shoulders are open. She's squeezing her ears and she's looking at her hands. So this shape is going to go all the way through to our handstand, okay, which means we need to stay super tight and work all of these muscles so that we can land in a nice open handstand to do our second part, which we'll get to. So our first drill we're lying on the floor, squeezing your ears, nice and tall, and you're just going to lift your hips off the floor, okay? So this is going to initiate the open hips for after our takeoff. So you're just going to practice this. You can hold it for 10 seconds at a time and then relax, okay? Then once you've done this, you're going to pop your feet on the box and it'll be the same thing. So you're going to squeeze your ears and lift your hips straight away, okay? Making sure your arms are getting all the way to the floor as well, just to get that timing right for our shaping after our takeoff. Once we practice this, so remember holding 10 seconds at a time, we're going to turn around, popping our shoulders on the box. So this is going to start focusing on opening our shoulders, okay, which is quite hard to do on the floor. So we're going to lift our hips at the same time as our arm swing and making sure our hands get all the way to the back of the box. Okay, so practicing 10 times, making sure you hold at the top, feeling that shape. And then once we've done all of these, understanding the shaping, we're going to put together the takeoff and our shape. So we're going to start with our chest in, with our hands next to our feet, and we're going to slide our hands slowly back, keeping your chest in, and as soon as your shoulders touch the box, you're going to snap open. So Charlotte's going to show you one more time. She's going to keep her arms down until she hits the box. And then she's going to go open, and this is initiating our long takeoff and open shape at the end.
Okay, so moving straight on to our conditioning. The first conditioning we're going to do is a Superman. This is focusing on keeping everything open, so our hips open and our shoulders open. Once we get up there, you're going to do some shoulder pulses. So thinking about, we're not going from closed to open, we're thinking open and more open. Okay, so this is going to build our shoulder strength for keeping our shoulders open in our back hamstrings. Do about 10 of those, have a rest, and then do 10 more. After that, you're going to have your feet being held by either a box or someone else. I'm just going to hold Tori's feet. We're going to lift up our shoulders again, lifting up our chest and up and down. So again, thinking about keeping our shoulders nice and open, and we're not going to close them up there. So doing 10 of those. Awesome. And remember, we're going to keep our arms by our ears and squeezing that the whole time. After you've done that, we're going to focus on some hip strength, keeping our hips up nice and high and open. So the first one we're going to do, we're going to push up to a rear support, and we're going to do some jump in and outs. Going out and in, keeping your bottom squeezed and your hips up the whole time. Okay, it's super important. Also trying to keep our legs straight. Do 10 of those, have a break, and then we're going to do feet on the box. In our rear support again, pushing our hips up and squeezing, and we're going to go up and then you're going to lower and relax, and then pushing up, and you make sure that you can feel the difference between the two. Okay, so this is super important for our hip strength and building up our core as well. So do about 10 of those, and then we're going to move over to the wall to do some wall angels.
Okay, so if you find that you're struggling with the shoulder mobility, getting those shoulders open, as this is really important for our shaping for our handstand after our takeoff, we've got a couple of drills that might help. So Charlotte's just going to show you, they're called wall angels, so we're going to make angels. Instead of in the snow, we're going to do it against the wall. So starting, I'm going to go back for a second, starting at a 90-degree angle, shoulders down, fingers facing up. You want to keep your elbows and your hands against the wall and slowly bring your arms up to your ears, okay? Charlotte's elbows are going to come off a little bit because she struggles a little bit with the shoulder mobility, but the more she practices this, the better her shoulders will get. So this is really good for Charlotte to practice. And if you find that this is good, you're all the way against the wall, you can hold the resistance band. So it'll pull a little bit of resistance. This is good for strength. So I'm just gonna hold it a little bit, I'm not gonna let it go. And Charlotte's gonna do the same thing, trying to get her arms to her ears. She's gonna come off the wall a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so you can practice this with the resistance band. Okay, so we've done our takeoff and we've landed in our open shape now. Now we want to work on snapping into our dish, okay? So we're going to show you some drills to transition from this shape into our dish to prepare for taking off, pushing off your hands to then land on your feet. So we're going to, on a box, find yourself a small box, start in your Superman shape, lifting up as high as you can, and then slowly pushing into your dish shape. You can get a little bit faster as you go, make sure you're holding each shape. Okay, so then you're gonna, if this is gonna simulate open to dish. And then, once you've done this, we're gonna start working on the, your strength for your shoulders, being able to push and actually pop off the floor. So we've got a downward dog here. She's gonna put her feet on the box to make it a little bit harder. If you want even more of a challenge, you can do a pike handstand or a tuck handstand or a full handstand against the wall. So you're just gonna squeeze your ears, making sure your shoulders are open, like with your chest in as well, and you're just gonna do your shoulder shrugs. So relaxing your shoulders, pulling your head all the way down, and pushing up as tall as you can. So make sure you do 10 of these in a set, and repeat it. And then we're gonna use this to then simulate our full handstand. So we're gonna do an open handstand. You can do this against a wall, but I'm gonna hold Charlotte first. So she's doing her open shape, her shoulders are open and her hips are open, and she's gonna do her shoulder shrugs in this position. Okay, so keeping her shoulders nice and open, which is gonna prepare her to push into her dish on the other side.
The final segment today is gonna be our landing and the snap down of the landing. So we're gonna do 3 drills for this. We're gonna be focusing on going from our open shape to our closed shape and then lifting our chest up into our snap down. The first one we're gonna be doing is we're gonna do an open handstand. So Tori's gonna show for us, she's gonna pick up into a handstand or an open handstand if you can hold it. She's gonna squeeze her shoulders, and we're going to snap into a front support position. Alright, see how she's squeezing her chest? Everything's nice and in. She's not arching or sticking her hips out. Her bottom is squeezed and legs nice and straight. So do it one more time for us. Holding up, keeping open shoulders, and then going into our snapping position. Awesome. So the next thing we're going to do, we're just going to demonstrate a little bit of what the snap should be looking like. So we're going to have our shoulders open. Tori's nice and straight right now, and then she's going to snap in, bring her chest up nice and quickly, keeping everything squeezed in. So we're going to see it one more time. So big push off the floor, pushing with our head, chest all the way up. So it's a nice fast motion, it's not too slow. And then we're going to try and put this together. We're going to use a box, we're going to kick up to a handstand, and we're going to try and snap down. So holding, squeezing our shoulders open, open position, pushing into our closed position. Okay, so we see how she went from open hips, open shoulders into our dish shape, and then pushing all the way down into our snap, keeping our chest up and keeping it in. So we're going to see it one more time. Pushing up, holding, and it's a very fast snap down, chest up. Awesome. So practice those for us and do at least 5 reps of each, and then we'll see how we go.
Okay, so just a final couple of exercises for you guys that might help to get your legs together. It's really common when we're doing our back handsprings to take off and open a little bit when we're opening our hips. Our legs will often go apart. So we're just gonna do a little bit of strength for our inner legs, making sure we keep our legs together and get our legs together for the landing, which will be very important for the tumbling that we do after our back handspring. So Charlotte's gonna demonstrate, she's gonna have her arms up on her ears. So obviously this is the shape that we're doing. She's gonna do a star jump out and jump back in fast and land with her feet together. So she's gonna go out, in fast, land, okay? So you can see the focus is on the second part where she's bringing her legs together just before she lands, okay? You don't wanna be too slow and coming together at the floor. So to work on this a little more, we've got another variation that you guys can do. So you can jump up onto the side, onto the boxes, and then a little bit of a higher jump, you've got even more time to get your legs together. So this will be a bit better if you were struggling on the floor, or just another variation to get more height and just change it up. Another thing you can do which will make it a little bit harder is stand on either side of the box. So you actually have to jump even more to get your legs together before you land on the box, which is gonna be harder. So this is our final variation. So big jump together, Charlotte's doing it really well. One more. Okay, so make sure you're doing 10 of these at a time. This is really gonna strengthen your inner thighs and get your legs together in your back handspring.
We hope you guys enjoyed our entire program, especially this final video on back handsprings. Make sure you keep practicing every video and your skills will get better as we go along. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
See you in the gym.